Thanks for joining me today. Today we're making my favorite salad. It is a burrata salad with balsamic and a little bit of pasta touched in there. So let's get started. Okay, we are starting on my favorite salad in the entire world. So it takes a little bit of pasta. I've got some pasta here. You know this is fiberless that you're watching. We've got a couple grams of fiber, not a lot, but I'm going to put in some pasta. So I'm going to make a little extra because I'll make a salad later too. That maybe is just more pasta, but this salad has no croutons on it, so we're going to use some pastas that get nice and big. So I've got some water going, and I'm just going to turn it up. It is warm here today in the Midwest, a crazy, crazy warm day. I'm going to put in a couple handfuls of this. This bag is 1 pound, and it serves 8. So I'm going to use probably a little less than half the bag, and I'm only going to use probably about 2/3 of a cup for my salad, and you can use whatever you want. It's your salad. So while that pasta is cooking, and I'm going to set my timer for 9 minutes and start checking it. While that pasta is cooking, we're going to start making our dressing, which is super easy. And if you watched my Greek video, which I hope you did, please like and subscribe. But if you watched my Greek video of Greek salad dressing, I make a dressing where I let the onions sit in a little bit of vinegar or even water, anything to kind of remove some of the harshness that is in an onion. So I cut it in thin slices, and I go this way because I think it looks nice. And I'm going to add in some vinegar. Now, if you just wanted to leave them in there, you could turn these into pickles too. So, got some vinegar. So we're going to let those, submerge those. When you have apple cider vinegar, you have the natural qualities of it. Unpasteurized is kind of a darker color. Okay, we're going to make a little dressing. Now, your average balsamic vinaigrette is a 3-to-1 ratio. And I think that 3 parts oil to 1 part vinegar is too much for me. So I'm going to use, I usually do half and half. So I'm going to do half vinegar. Well, that's at the bottom of the bottle. When you have, it's called must. It's at the bottom of the bottle. And it's just kind of basically where the barrel was. So into my next bottle. I'm going to make some dressing for later. That's really good vinegar. Okay. 1 cup of our oil. This will be my salad dressing for the whole week, so don't worry that it's a lot. Polyphenols, antioxidants. I'm a huge fan of really good olive oil. If you read about it, and I hope you are, it is a life-changing experience to have really good olive oil. So if you're not eating it yet, I hope you give it a go. Okay, close enough. I was going to put it in here, but I don't think I can stir it. So I'm going to put it in my bowl, and then I will just pour it out of there because my salad's going to go in here anyway. So I don't mind that I am using my salad bowl. And you can do this however it tastes good to you. I do it like I like it. So I'm going to put in a teaspoon of Dijon mustard. And we can always add more. And then honey. And honey just gives it a little, you just want a big squeeze of honey just to not make it sweet, but you have a lot of vinegar in here. And then we're going to grate in a couple cloves of garlic. I like a lot of garlic, so I'm probably going to do at least 2 or 3 big ones. So let's get that in there. Okay. And we're just going to taste that. Stir it and taste it. I worked in a restaurant in Chicago, and their house dressing was this with just torn basil in it, and it was just beautiful. Okay, I'm going to taste that and see where we are at in acidity, in oil, in sweetness. It's delicious, you guys. I'm going to add some ground pepper and some salt. It doesn't need much salt. So now I am going to pour this into, looks like chocolate pudding, doesn't it? If you're a fan of balsamic, it is so worth it to make a container of this once a week. It saves you, and then you can put it over spinach, over baby greens, over romaine. You can put it over hot vegetables, put it over lentils, beans, rice. It is up to you. Okay, I'm going to clean up that bowl. Okay, so that has been about 9 minutes. I'm going to pour this vinegar out, and we're going to start assembling our very fun salad. And you guys, this is so easy, but so satisfying. Yeah, you do have to round up a burrata. I hope you have one of those in your area, or a grocery store that has a burrata, or you can also get them online. I'm gonna make a big salad. I love a big salad. Okay, then we're going to cut up our tomatoes. I'm just going to cut them in half. Tear up some basil leaves that are just going to go right in the lettuce. And this actually does call for about 2/3 of a cup of basil leaves, and that would be kind of a lot, I think, but I use at least about half. So I'm just going to rip those up, and I love it. I don't want to chop it. I love this very rustic, very beautiful like this. But as far as herbs go, you know, you could put in dill. I think with the balsamic, the basil is best, but it's really up to you. And then we put in some of our onions. Start with that, and I'm gonna taste one. I'm gonna tell you guys, in 9 minutes, we have already gotten to where we're going with that. I'm just going to put a little bit of the dressing on the top. And remember, like the lady that I worked in a restaurant in California, and she would make me bring everything up from the bottom. She said, why are you pouring the dressing on the top? You take it all the way from the bottom and then toss it around. And if you need more dressing, you add it. But because you're kind of watching calories too, you don't want to go wild and make this thing super oily. You don't have to. Look at, is that beautiful or what? So I'm just going to get our pasta, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to put a little dressing on our al dente pasta, and I'm going to stir it around and get them coated so they don't show up dry on the scene. Put a little pepper on them. And put them in there. And instead of croutons, we've got a beautiful salad. Now I'm going to get the presentation plate because the burrata will go right on top of my favorite salad. And I've got my plate. plate. I'm just going to show you how we plate this. Now, as you know, I get in there with my hands. Make a base. Put some more on. Put the top on. And then the lovely burrata goes on the top. And if you've ever worked with burrata, you can tear it into pieces, or you can just gently rip it apart and have it just lay right in a huge nestle. And then we do a little drop of our balsamic over the top of that, and some fresh pepper. And we have gotten my favorite salad in the whole world. That burrata salad was a showstopper, was a beauty, and the proof is I don't have any left. It was so delicious. I ate it all, and it was just so satisfying, so perfect in every way. So I want to thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.